Hi everyone, Paul Levy with Brownells here, joined by
Keith Ford.
Yeah, Keith Ford, and today we have a special gun from the vault. We have an MG15. This is a pretty interesting machine gun. You don't see a lot of them floating around, especially water-cooled like you see here. So the MG15 started life as an aircraft machine gun. It was mounted in German airplanes during World War II, just prior. And it was phased out because it was 8mm, and they went to larger cartridges because the planes got more robust, armored, and then they transitioned these guns and repurposed them to a ground roll, which you see right here. Some were air-cooled, and this particular one was water-cooled. Where did this one get switched over at?
This one right here was modified by the German Army for use for ground forces, and actually ended up in Romania. Okay. A lot of their military. That's where most of the water-cooled went to.
Now, were a lot of these just late in the war conversions because they needed to get something?
Yeah. Now, as they pulled them out of the HE-111s and other aircraft and started using them for ground forces, they realized that the air-cooled versions heated up too quick, and then they started using a water-cooled, which helped a lot. And the air-cooled ones, whenever they were in the airplanes at the upper elevation, upper altitudes, they weren't so bad, but whenever you got on the ground, they started heating.
Because these fire about 1,000 rounds a minute.
Yes, 1,000 rounds a minute of full-size 8mm. That's a lot of lead going down range.
So these predated the MG34 and the 42.
Yes.
But they're kind of a slightly different design. They're kind of in that development.
Right. Rheinmetall of Germany and Solothurn of Switzerland came up with this design. And it kind of led the way for some other machine guns and eventually into the MG42.
Yeah, and this one has a very interesting lockup mechanism. We're not going to take it apart today because it's a little too interesting for me to tackle, or maybe even Keith at the moment.
But these right here, they actually fire from an open bolt. Rack that back right there, and you can see in right here the cam of the bolt itself, and they come in, and then there's a cam up here that it locks into.
So it's a spiral collar that the barrel and the bolt lock into, and that actually rotates. The barrel and the bolt actually don't rotate.
No, the barrel and bolt don't rotate.
Yeah, so pretty intriguing there, and just a spring, and that allows for this super sleek receiver. It's pretty neat. If you look at this receiver here, it's got like a Bakelite material that it's housed in, and kind of a cool wood grip.
And there's two safeties on these. You have a grip safety in the back for the trigger right here, and then you have another safety right here that actually push down on this a little bit, not all the way, kind of
fire.
Yep,
right
there we go. Then roll that to safe, and then this blocks the actual bolt from going forward. And then push that back. Now she's ready to go.
Yeah, and probably the most distinctive part on this gun is the saddle magazine, the 75 round.
Those are amazingly wild.
If you think a CMAG was a recent invention, no, sorry.
No.
It's about a 100-year-old design.
Betamags, this is the original Betamag right here.
And not only that, but this magazine release is pretty cool. There's a lock position, which then doesn't allow it to come off, and then this, because it's in an aircraft, you don't want this just popping off your gun and falling down to earth. And then that unlocks and allows you to pop that guy off.
Then you just pull that back, and then she's out.
Yeah, let's show that. So it's got dual feed, so it feeds from both sides, and then really simple receiver right there and feed lips. And we have one over here. Let's put that in the front. We have one disassembled, and you can see inside of it how it functions. Basically, it has these spools and dummy rounds that will slide up inside as you load it, and all your rounds are captured up in there. And you can see if something goes wrong in there, you're going to have a bad day with one cartridge out of alignment.
And the way that they loaded these, there's like a little scissor style tool that you put on there, and then when they pressed it down, you would load 2 rounds at a time, and it would go, one round would go to one side, the other round would go to the other side.
From my understanding, it's not particularly easy to load these.
No, they are not.
It's basically impossible.
Yeah.
And of course, it's German, so it has an elaborate stamping. This exterior, and then you have the other end plate, or I suppose rear plate here. You can see just how well made this is. Pretty wild. The amount of work that went into a magazine.
Yeah.
Like, why not just make a belt fed, guys?
Yeah. Just seeing these in action and seeing what all it took to make this is just kind of mind blowing for the time that what was going on.
Yeah. And as I understand it, there's a sister gun to this, the MG17, which is solenoid driven.
I believe so.
Yeah, and then really after they're taken out of the aircraft, you didn't see a whole lot of them. That's why you didn't really. That's probably why a lot of you have never seen this gun. it just, once it transitioned out of the aircraft, it kind of got put to the wayside and put in probably support roles for the most part.
Support roles, backups of, like I said, Romania, they really didn't have a machine gun, anything like the MG42, 34, and this right here would have been perfect for them, right there.
Well, thank you, Keith. Hope everyone enjoyed the MG15 from the vault. We hope to get more guns like this, rare oddities in here from the vault. See you next time.